Mid-Canterbury Rural Women New Zealand. You're pretty busy.
Yes, it is, but it's very rewarding, and rural woman is very passionate to me, so I enjoy what I do, Rob.
What are some of the projects you've got on at the moment? I think weather is one of your focuses.
Yes, weather, of course, Mid-Canterbury, perhaps we're not quite as hard affected as what North Canterbury is with the drought, but still with the dairy downturn and that, it's having a major effect on the farming communities and also on the businesses within Ashburton as well. Some of the branches, one of the branches last year in April ran a men's dinner, especially for the men of the district, to try and get them together just to have a night out. We had balladeer and poet Roger Lusby come down from Nelson and entertain the gentlemen for the evening, and nobody wanted to go home. We had to let them shut the doors on the way out. It was just a really, really great evening, lots of chatter, and so we felt our job was done from that, and we're going to do it again this year. They were keen to continue it again, so we'll all go there again for this April. We're going to host another men's dinner. We also host a ladies' dinner in Winchmore in February. The same type of thing, just bring in a good guest speaker and that there as well, and just have a night out for the ladies to treat themselves and that. So
that's very important, isn't it? It's because farming folk are very isolated in general.
Yes, they are isolated if they choose to be isolated. Yes, there's lots of social media that people use now, but there is always plenty of groups and organisations out there that people can become involved in if they choose. It is a bit, a bit frightening when you do come to a new area. We in Mid-Canterbury, a lot of dairy people who are not sort of home based in Mid-Canterbury. So yes, it can be quite daunting when you do come into a new district, but isolation is a problem, and so we're busy working on that one to know how can we help these people best. Farming Mums is doing a good job, Women's Dairy Network is doing a great job in that as well, but I think rural women have got to get in beside those organisations as well and help them out and do our bit there as well.
I've found in organisations that I've been in, once you miss a meeting, it's easy to miss the next one, and then by then it's too late to go back, and so you stop going. And so that's important that other people say, hey, Rob hasn't been to a meeting for a couple of months. So somebody rings me up and says, I'll pick you up at 6:30.
That's correct.
Isn't it? I mean,
it's the best way to do it, and but dare I say it, we're all busy people, and perhaps we just get a wee bit remiss at times in that from taking those steps. But yes, that is a very, very good point, and we even in some of our branches we have a lot of members, but we don't see them a lot. But they're still there, but that's not good enough on our behalf. We've got to do more for those people. I'm
going to mention depression because that's one of the things that I know your organisation is very hot on for support.
Yes.
And one of the symptoms is you don't want to talk to anyone. You know, and the phone will ring and you'll go, I'm not home. So it's really a case of probably knock on the door and say, look, I've just done a batch of scones. Yep. I brought half of them around to you.
That is true. Yep, we can't hide behind the telephone, and that we do have to face call and that on people. You know, people don't like to admit sometimes they are having problems. There's lots of things in place, even in Mid-Canterbury, even within rural women, to help these people, but we need to find them.
And they're not going to put their hand up and say, excuse me, I need some help.
That's right. So we need to ask neighbours or friends who notice some difference in those people to perhaps give, you know, rural women, rural support a ring so that we can help these people. That's because right. We're there, we want to help them, but we just don't know how to get to them sometimes.
Well, you don't know that they need help until somebody gives you the nod.
Gives us the nod and that. So very aware of it, and yeah, want to do our bit and want rural women to be there helping out these people. But
do you find that wives, for example, will ring and say, look, I'm a bit concerned about my husband, he's spent a lot of time gazing at the wall?
Oh, look, I can't say that, Rob. I haven't had any experience with anybody ringing me in that.
I think they should.
They should be, but from my point of view, I think the woman sometimes carries as much burden in the house because, okay, the farmer's out in his paddocks, but she has to run the house, she has to pay the bills, she has to feed the children, she has to pay the accounts, and she needs some she time as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's when you, I guess, encourage people to ring the neighbours and say, I'm going to Valentine's, come with me. just a bit of that sort of stuff.
Yes, that retail therapy is
exactly. Even if you don't buy anything, it's just nice to go to Bally's.
It's just nice to get dressed up and get off the farm and just go and do something. So.
Enterprising women.
Yes, look, we are so proud that really within our region, last year we had the Urukon girls win, and then, no, that was 2 years ago, and then last year Jo Taylor from Ashburton with her Latitude magazine. We were just overwhelmed when she came out as the supreme winner and was most delighted with that. She's even commented about how it's helped her business in that as well, the exposure, the coverage of winning that award, and that has been very good to her. She's a Rural Woman member, an individual member, and very supportive and very keen to see Rural Women continue into the future and helping us down that line a wee bit as well.
Because you have got a wonderful future, because I mean I've been associated with the Rural Women when you were Women's Division Federated Farmers, and that's the wee way back now.
That's a wee while ago.
Yeah,
that's when I was a lot younger with my mother. So yes.
But the neat thing is that you've actually got an organisation that is taking the women's plight to Wellington, walking through doors without opening them, and saying, hey, listen, guys, we need to be serious about this.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
And I think the important thing, Sandra, really is that you don't have to be one of the ones that goes to Wellington. You can be. There's so many layers, isn't there? So many levels of involvement.
Yes, there is a lot, and the National Office have got systems in place where you can just receive an email if you are a particular on, say, health, any health issues. They can email you, and you can provide feedback to them, and so we are able to contribute, and that is something that I feel is really important with Rural Women, is that even at the grassroots we do have the opportunity to make a contribution.
And the other neat thing is, going back to what we were talking about, it's rubbing shoulders. It's getting away from the farm, even if it's just for an afternoon's meeting. Yes,
an afternoon, and it's just that social networking. A lot of my good friends I've met through Rural Women, I don't see them a lot, and my path doesn't cross a lot with some of those ladies at other times, so I really look forward to my Rural Women outings and that, because it brings me together with another group of people and networking, providing leadership opportunities. It's just endless as to how much you want to give to the organisation.
Brilliant. Sandra, thank you very much indeed.